Hello everyone, this is Macro. I'm playing on an alternate character here, so I can give a quick guide on how to do what we English players call ATV, or is probably known as the worm raid. As you can see here, I'm just quickly looting some chests. It's not because I don't have faith in my group, it's just that if we do fail the group, I still get loot. So, I'm going to be going over and giving a quick commentary on this raid. I will be tanking the worm, and I'm playing on a character that has pretty poor gear. My bow is, I believe, a +7. It is a crafted bow, and it might even be a luxury crafted bow. So as you can see, I just used some potions, an armor potion, 5% armor or defense, a 5% attack potion, and the nature resistance potion. So I took my bow out at first to make sure that I was the first one to strike the worm, so I get aggro. As you can see in the top, you can see my name, Baycrow, right next to the boss, which means I have aggro, which means that the worm is going to be consistently trying to attack me. So let me explain what's going on here. At the very start, when the worm is not enraged, it'll do a couple of attacks. One attack right here is where the worm releases a screech, a high-pitched screech, and it lays down, and then it will spin. Another attack is where it just digs its head in the ground and allows you to hit the head. This is a bit strange. I don't believe this was what was supposed to happen. Typically it only digs and charges if the tank is far away from the worm. Luckily, Lusty Argonian Maid, a guild member of mine, saw what was going on and gave me an temporary invulnerability to help me survive that charge. It's very hard to survive it. You can block the attack, but it does about 4 or 5k damage even if you block it, and it hits you maybe 2 or 3 times depending on your RNG. So you have to have a potion ready, and maybe even the second cast shot potion just to survive that. So this positioning is not ideal because when it digs its head like this, the head is kind of on the bottom of the hill, which makes the hitbox a little strange. You can't really hit it from behind, from under its head. You have to be, at least for me, because my melee attacks kind of have a short reach, so I have to move into to the front of the head, which is a bit strange. The positioning is awkward. Other classes probably don't have to do that, but I do. So once again, it digs its head into the ground, and we just do some serious damage to the head. I'm doing kind of lackluster DPS, but that shows that you can tank this boss and succeed with 7 people if you know what you're doing, regardless of your gear. So we're bringing it down to roughly 70%, and this is where we want to be careful. At 65% health, the worm enrages. Right now it's doing its first dig. The first dig means that you have to go onto the mountains, and if you're not on the mounds, you will die, just like Sumo here will die. I'm trying to ping him to make him aware of what's going on, but alas, he dies. So the second time you see the sand, you can circumvent them by just simply walking around them. I was closed off here, so I had to wait. I need to make sure that I'm near the worm so that it doesn't dig and charge or do its poison spit. That attack is typically indicative of an enrage, but the best way to know whether it's enraging or not is if your units are doing 1 damage to it. Yeah, that is an enrage ability. So my archers did 2 damage. It is attacking very fast. I wasn't aware because my units weren't attacking the boss, and even if I've done this plenty of times, I just forgot what HP and rages start. So clearly it happens at 70%, and it lasts for 10%. So it goes from 70% health to 60% health. This fast attack speed and high damage mode comes in. When he does this high-pitched scream and this spin, he spins around twice, which typically one-shots me. So I only come in melee range of the boss when I know it's doing an ability that gives me a moment to attack the boss. But most of the time, I'm going to stay just a little bit of ways away so that it does this barfing attack, which gives the team a bit of a breathing room to do some damage from the back. So when it's enraging, when it pins its head into the ground, it'll do a very far-range sweeping attack. There we go. This is the double spin. I need to make sure that I'm nowhere near that. I'm surprised no one died from that. I'm using my revives pretty liberally since I'm on my alternate account. I don't really care about my cubics or sapphires, as some people know them as. I was luckily, I blocked that one luckily. If I got hit by that, I would have been knocked back pretty far away. I say calm here because I thought Enrage started at 75% health. I noticed that my units are still doing 1 damage, so I say, never mind, he's still pissed. Got 2% more damage to do to him before he calms down. Typically when he calms down too, he also gets knocked down, which allows the group to do some serious DPS. And if you have the two-hand axe orcs, this is the time to use them because those guys do some serious damage to large targets. See, Takochi dies here, so I quickly revive him instead of having him use his revive. Enrage is over, and the worm gets pinned down, so this is where we are supposed to do the majority of our DPS. Takochi's his main character, and this is my alt character, so I want to use my resurrections to kind of get value out of my free revives and save cubics for my teammates and guildmates. Since he's calm, this dig, this pin, I guess, when he digs his head into the ground, gives you the opportunity to attack its head for some pretty high DPS. That was weird that I got hit there. That doesn't usually happen. Some sort of bug with the hitbox when it shakes its head. You can see the attack speed decreases significantly when he's not enraged. Nice 30k crit there. It's a little bit of a bug with the ranger. Using one of my abilities teleports me to the opposite side, which makes it hard for me to hit the boss. So these worms here, they need to die. I believe the timer on the bottom that says 1 minute and 30 seconds is a timer that will wipe the raid instantly if worms are still alive at the end of that duration. So I know that around 40% health, he does a second dig. I'm not worried about him, digging and charging because I was right next to him. If I died because of him charging, that was because of some sort of, I don't know, range indicator error on behalf of the worm's part, so I felt pretty safe. We're getting close to 35% health, so I know that the enrage is going to happen soon. That doesn't usually happen. That is blockable. I just messed up the timing, unfortunately. He digs here. I understand that he's going to charge. But I ate it. I used 2 potions. I used my 4.8k healing potion, and I also used the 50% max health potion from the cash shop. And it doesn't, and you buy it from the cash shop, but it doesn't use cash shop currency. It actually uses cubics, which, if you're not sure, is a currency that you can buy with cash, but you can acquire it from dailies and whatnot. I used my Elven Archer's heal on myself. I want to make sure that my potions are available for me during this enrage period. This is the last time he digs his head He's just hit 35% health. He's enraged now. I alert the group. And I'm going to stay my distance here. Get him to start barfing on Belfour here. And allow the rest of the group to attack from the rear. The positioning isn't ideal here because when he's against the wall there... Oh, this is some sort of disconnect happened. The only one that actually disconnected was Lusty, which is kind of strange. That was weird. I'm gonna have to heal using my reinforcements ability. I'm a little bit too far away, so he did a poison spit. By the way, this enraged sweeping attack he does. Uh-oh, here's where he does his double spin. I think Sakochi dies here. Nope. Nope, he didn't. It's impressive. Berserkers have a hard time getting out of that double spin because of their slow movement speed. He must have predicted it or something. Or used his invulnerability. But yeah, as I was saying, that sweeping attack he does, he leans at the very beginning in the opposite direction that he's going to sweep. So if he's leaning towards you, you're safe. So Belfour dies here. Quickly revive him. He's probably the highest DPS on the team. Want to make sure that he has the most uptime. So there we go. That's the end of the second Enrage. It's pretty much smooth sailing after here. Sakochi's still blocking for whatever reason. Oh, he's commanding his cavalry to hit the worm. So when the worm is calm, I can spend more time attacking the boss, do some DPS with the rest of the team. Hit the head. Since this is pretty easy from this point on, I don't know if it happens during this raid, but on the last after this second Enrage, if he digs and uses his sand attack again, the first one will be on top of the mounds, so the opposite of the conventional attack that he does, and then the second one will be off the mounds. So what you need to do is position yourself close to the mounds so that immediately after the first sand attack is done, you can go on the mounds and avoid the second one. Yup, there's the last sand attack. We try to use the red pig as danger and the green pig as safe. It's also interesting that if your troops have some sort of AoE ability where you can target the ground, like mortars or archers' volleys, you can actually attack the boss while he's on the ground. It does decent damage, maybe 10k a volley, so 50k roughly, which is decent. We have 7 players and we still had 1 minute and 40 seconds to spare roughly. I wasn't paying attention there and I could have attacked the head, but when he's at low health, maybe 2%, 3% or lower, he just starts doing his poison spit exclusively. It is blockable. We do have invulnerability at the moment, so we don't have to block. But it is blockable. It's pretty easy to stay full health while he's doing that spit attack. It's not really a threat. And there you go. That's the worm raid. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any more questions, you can contact me in-game. My in-game name is Macro. My alt's name is Baycrow. You can also find me on the Discord. If you're not familiar with the Discord, you can find it in the description of this video. And see you until next time.